In Stardew Valley, there are so many things that you need to keep track of. I especially struggle with fish. I wanted to come up with a list of each fish you need to catch on each season, and where do I need to go to get every single fish I need before year 2, so that mid-game I can worry about other things like money making, chipping everything, and relationships. This is that list. I will go over each season, locations, time, and weather, creating as simple a route as I possibly can. The objective is to help you catch all fish, and not necessarily completing the community center, since that can be done with the help of the traveling cart, trash, etc. Feel free to leave your tips and suggestions below so that others can also have an easier time playing Stardew Valley. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up 1,000 times, let's get right into it. First things first, there are 5 very important things you're going to have to do to catch all fish on your first year. If you usually don't do this as fast, then you may have to do this in year 2 and so on, which is totally fine. First of all, you will need to reach level 10 on your fishing skill during spring. This is possible, but it is time consuming and tedious, especially if you do not enjoy fishing. But early game fishing is one, if not the best way of making money. So it is worth it to give it a try. Plus, it makes catching all of the fish easier. Second, you will need to have access to the secret woods, unless you have picked at the forest farm. This is only for 1 fish. Third, you will have to get at least to floor 100 of the mines. This can be done at any time, just know that there are about 5 fish that can only be found in the depths of the caves. Fourth, you will need to complete the community center in year 1. This is because there are many fish that get unlocked in Ginger Island and through the Dark Talisman quest. So, if you do not want to deal with this pressure, no worries, you can still do this route in year 2 or when you are done with the center. Check out the chapters down below to see the fish that get unlocked after. And lastly, you will need to unlock the sewers. For this, you need to donate 60 items to the museum. This because through this area you will get 2 more fish, but these last 2 requirements can be done until winter and it will not be a problem, so don't stress too much about it. Now let's get to the actual fishing. The only fish that you can only catch in spring is the legend. The rest can be caught in other seasons, but you are likely to get them in here because you want to get to level 10 fishing as soon as possible. This is because for you to even be able to hook the legend, you need to be at least level 10 fishing. Remember that food bobs like the dish of the sea and trout soup can help you increase your skill level, but the higher level you are, it would also be easier for you to actually catch it. My recommendation is that you get your rod on day 2 and then go straight to the mountain lake. The fish here are not so hard to catch and can get you good money. From here you will catch the carp, bullhead, chub, and largemouth bass. Plus, you are also likely to find green algae and the river jelly here. I usually fish all of day 2 so I can have more level ups for day 3 when it is guaranteed to be raining. These mean catfishes will be in the town river, which is your biggest money maker right now. In the process, you should also catch a shad, a smallmouth bass, and late at night, a bream. Whatever other day it is raining, my recommendation is to come here to fish for money and experience. However, one of those rainy days, I go to the ocean after 4 p.m. to get an eel. You would likely need this for the community center too. On days it is not rainy, be sure to still go to the river to catch a sunfish. Then, be sure to also catch the ocean fish. The anchovy, sardine, herring, flounder, and halibut. This last one being one with a weird schedule, but just go in the late afternoon and you will find it. If you're lucky, you will also catch some seaweed and sea jelly. Remember that all of this can be caught in other seasons, but I like to name them here so I don't stress about them anymore. Your main goal, however, should be to get to level 10 as soon as possible, because you need this level and for it to be raining for you to hook the legend. If you're struggling to get there, check on the traveling cart and the saloon for possible foods that may help you reach level 10 for a day. Once you meet this criteria, you can find the legend fish by casting your line here. It is a tough one, but I am sure you can get it if you prepare well. Summer adds a ton of new fish. To get this out of the way, go to the ocean, because many are added here, and 3 are needed for the community center as well. Go early on a sunny day to dedicate a whole day to ocean fish. You will catch earlier in the day the octopus. This one, it's so hard. Do not fear, you got this. Get yourself some extra food bobs if needed. During this fishing session, you should also catch the puffer fish, the tilapia, red mullet, and tuna. Fish till late in the day and you would also catch a super cucumber. These are the best for money making in summer. Be sure to smoke them if you can. Which leads me to the fish smoker. This is a machine introduced in 1.6 which can help you make a lot of extra money early on. You place a fish in there with a piece of coal and it would double its sell price. It carries the fish quality and everything. And with targeted bait, you can easily catch 8 to 12 cucumbers a day. Give it a try and let me know how it worked for you. You can buy the recipe for the smoker from Willy for 10,000 G. It will require some hardwood and 3 different types of jellies to craft. So far, you should already have some sea and river jelly. So let's see how to catch the other one. Usually, by midsummer, I have already made it at least to floor 20 of the mines. Ideally, to floor 100. If you have, you can fish in these fish ponds to catch the cave jelly. From floor 20, you can also catch the ghost fish and the stonefish. Use the elevator to go to floor 60 if you have already reached it. In here, you can catch the ice pip. This one is a tough one, but also profitable to smoke if you want to try this. And finally, the last fish to catch in the mines is the lava eel, on floor 100 of the mines, next to where you got your star drop. This is well known to be one of the hardest fish to catch and even hook, because in this floor you will mostly catch trash. Be patient, bring a snack. It is worth it to put this one on a fish pond because of how good the age row is for money. And it also changes the color of the water, so why wouldn't you? Back to the fishes that can be caught in summer. If there is ever a rainy day, be sure to get the red snapper. 1, because it is so cute. 2, because you need it for the community center. And 3, because it only comes out in the rain, in the ocean. I usually take this day to also go to the mountain lake and catch myself a sturgeon. You will need to put him on a pond to get roe for caviar, so it is always a good catch. I feel like all of us got used to getting our axe to iron by summer so we can do a lot of foraging during the green rain, and also so that we could get the fiddlehead ferns of the secret woods. If you haven't unlocked this area, bring your rod to this pond because the Woodskip lives here. If you have the forest farm, then don't worry, you can catch it at home. It doesn't need to be summer to catch this one, just thought of mentioning it now. On summer 20th and 21st, there is the Trout Derby. It takes place in the river at Cinderstop Forest and it is a great chance for you to get the needed fish. Not only rainbow trouts, but also pikes and at least one dorado. Dorados only come out in summer, so be sure to get this one. Now, concerning legendary fishes. There are a total of 5 legendary fishes, 1 for each season, plus an all-season one. They all have their special locations. They are great smoked and sold for profit, but I personally prefer to give them their own personal fish ponds. Their roe is great, and they change color. Anyway, the summer legend fish is the crimson fish. I always seem to have a hard time with this one, so come prepared. If you got the legend in spring, this should be pretty simple. If not, just remember that you need at least level 5 to hook it, and to be standing at the dock east of the beach. Good luck! First things first. By now, you probably have at least a few crab pots, right? Either because you are weird and you crafted them, or because you completed the crab pot bundles by foraging at the beach and donating one of those shellless crabs from the mines. Either way, now it's a good time to get some in the ocean, because from here you need to catch 7 fish. Leave them somewhere while you walk often so you don't just forget them, like I do. And in no time, you will have your hands on the oyster, shrimp, mussel, cockle, crab, clam, and lobster. Some of these are needed for cooking recipes, so I do not recommend selling those right away. Once you have gotten these, you can move them to the Cindersap forest or the mountain lake for the 3 missing crab pot fish, though I have found that ponds on the farm do work as well. From here you will need a periwinkle, a snail, and a crayfish. Honestly, once you have these, there's not much reason to keep this, but the farm is an okay enough place to have them. If you have a ton laying around, be sure to check on how much they sell for. It might even be profitable to cook them into sashimi first. Now on to more exciting fishing. The legendary fish of fall is angler. This one is not a hard catch. You just need to stand here in the town and be at least level 3 fishing, which I trust you have reached by now. On more common fish, at the ocean you will fish the albacore if you go really early or late in the evening. While you're there, be sure to also get a sea cucumber, and that is all for the ocean in fall. If you get a rainy day in fall, I recommend going to the town river and getting your hands on the salmon, the tiger trout, and lastly the walleye. This last one is the only one that needs rainy weather, but 2 stones 1 fish, or however the saying goes. In case you are already going to the desert, try casting your line in this tiny pond. Here you will find the scorpion carp and the sandfish. The first one is hard to catch, okay? You have been warned. Also, one of the days where you have just gotten to the mines and you're heading kinda late home, try casting your line at the mountain lake. If it is after 10 p.m, you will catch the midnight carp, the only fish that got added for fall in the mountains. Believe it or not, there are only 14 fish left. Pretty amazing, huh? At the town river you will find the perch and the lingcod. Easy to catch and easy to find, since they will be here anytime as long as it is winter. If it is after 6 p.m. and you have already catched them, then head to the ocean to get your own squid. Save it. Willie may ask for one on the mail. This is when it gets a little tricky. If you're like me and like to rush on my first year to complete the community center, you may have finished it by the first week of winter because of those dang natural shells and forageables. If that is the case, congratulations! There are many new fish to catch. A little bit after the cutscene, if you go to the train station, you will unlock the Dark Talisman quest, opening new areas for you. One of these will be the Witch's Swamp. Fishing in here will let you hook the void salmon. Also, maybe a void mayonnaise for the huntsman. I haven't had luck with it, but people have mentioned it before. In case you have already unlocked the sewers, by donating 60 items to the museum, first say hi to Krobus from me, and then be sure to try your luck on the all-round season legendary fish, the Mutant Carp. It may take a bit to bite, but it's not hard to catch. You can find it here at any time or any day. Just be patient. Then, thanks to the Dark Talisman quest, you will also have access to the Mutant Bug Layer. Fishing in here will help you catch the slime jack. Pretty cool, huh? This is usually when I fish my first white algae, but you might be lucky to catch it somewhere else first. Going back to the legendary fish, we only have the winter one left. Behold, my worst nightmare, the Glaciar Fish. It will be hard to catch, so come prepared. You will need to stand here in Cindersap Forest, but if I can catch it, you can catch it. After that terrible yet rewarding catch, do not forget to catch the Goby as well, one of the fish added in 1.6 that I always forget. It is tricky to get in the right spot, but just be sure that it is a waterfall in Cindersap Forest. Now, during the night market, between the 15th and the 17th of winter, there is a very special attraction, the fishing submarine. It is very important that we go here because in the depths of the ocean is where we can find the blobfish, the spookfish, and the midnight squid. If you have completed the community center, you will have access to fix Willie's boat and get to Ginger Island. If you want to get all fish in 1 year, you will need to get here in winter, because there are 3 fish that you can only find in Ginger Island. The lionfish is found in the ocean, the blue discus in the river and ponds, and lastly, the stingray can be found at the Pirate's Cove, which can be a little tricky to find. Together, you first need to unlock the farm on the west side of the island, then have the parrots repair the house, which will unlock the resort. Once it is repaired, you will have access to the east side of the beach. You will find the Pirate's Cove by going through here. Pretty easy. To unlock these areas, you do need to collect a few golden walnuts, so I recommend checking out Salmon's video on how to find every single golden walnut. It is basically perfect. And those are all the Ginger Island fish. It is so simple and tiny that if you can't make it to Ginger Island so early, do not worry. Just get this when you do make it here. There really is no rush. I thought of mentioning that catching all fish not only unlocks the Master Angler achievement, but it makes it so that Willie also gives you a star drop. I would really like to make an emphasis on you really not need to catch all fish in one single year. This is a cozy game. Try to enjoy it however works best for you. And if that is by catching all the fish as fast as you can, then I hope this little guide has helped you a little bit. My route is not perfect, but it works. Please let me know down in the comments how you would optimize it or if you would do something different. If you do enjoy watching tutorials and videos about Stardew Valley, be sure to check out Salmon's guide on how to find all the golden walnuts, or my Friendship 101 guide, which basically tells you everything you need to know about friendship in Stardew Valley. But anyway, my name is Mrs Smuthy, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye! Are you happy?
Happy?
¿Te gusta jugar?
What?
¿Jugamos juntos?
Uh-huh.